So hello everyone and welcome back to another video of some F1 2019 game news. Now, yesterday on the Codemasters blog, they revealed all 10 car models. So that's all the car models that were for all 10 teams, and they will be shown to you at the end of the video. But let's go through some other stuff first. We'll start with the blog post that came along with the reveal of the car models. F1 2019 was released late release this month, actually in less than 20 days. I've got to get my act together with those videos. To celebrate, we want to show you the final car. So those eagle-eyed of you, you may have noticed that we've been showing off the 2019 regulation car. So we talked about when we announced that 2019 here, which Twitter blew up about. In our trailers, the most recent of which you can watch here, which I did a video on about when the trailer came out. I can't remember. It was a couple of weeks ago, at least, since the trailer came out. And of course, it shows you all 10 car models, which I'll show you, as I said, all again. And then of course it goes on to say that's not all we're showing on today. Take a look at some of F1's 2019 gorgeous night lighting. You mean the new fog that's formed at Bahrain? We spoke to F1 2019's art director Stuart Campbell to hear more. Night lighting was one of our visual priorities for F1 2019. We took the atmospheric system that introduced in F1 2019 for daytime and further developed this for night tracks. We now have full atmospheric haze on night circuits that doesn't exist at Bahrain, giving a true sense of depth. There are a lot of dust in the air on those circuits at night. These particles usually interact with the strong trackside lighting. I say yes or no, but I think they've overdone it. There should not be a fog in the distance. I'll show you they've done a comparison, so you'll be able to see. The atmospherics help pull the whole scene together and give a greater sense of realism. We've added volumetric lighting to the trackside lighting, which results in cones of light falling off from light sources, another key factor making night life look more realistic. Finally, we added a nighttime specular. This is not all present in previous games and made night scenes look rather flat and the surface material ambiguous. The specular additions have made huge improvement on the quality of track materials at night. The extra surface information provided by this allows you to see all the surface details that were lost previously. The vehicle paint in particular looks amazing on night circuits and picks up highlights on one of those track light side sources, making it look so incredibly close to TV footage of the sport itself. Okay, that's the end of the blog post, so it's not a big one. I'm going to put on the two comparisons that you put on Singapore and Bahrain. I've got to say, Singapore I've not really got that much of a problem with. The only problem I've got with both of them is that I like to see it's supposed to be nighttime. The glare from the lights is a little bit too much. Yes, arguably it's a little bit more realistic with the lighting, but with what they've done at Bahrain, it makes it look like a fog in the distance. Singapore, there isn't a fog in the distance because arguably Singapore hasn't got a long straight, so there's no room for distancing. That's what they've done. It's an old trick with video games. Basically, they put in fog so when they bring up the details, like when you're on track, when you're in a particular part of the circuit, it will only load the map for that part of the circuit for the visual distance that you can see, and it disables future in this distance by making it foggier, and I think what they've done is to try and hide that, so they can run potentially higher amounts of what's the word I was looking for? Run more details on the same amount of space. So it's for those people who have less RAM. But yes, the lighting definitely needed improvement, and although it is an improvement, it's not. There is still work to be done on the lighting. So let's move on to some handling and some setups now. This is again from Real Sport 101. Again, so again, all the links once again as usual in the description below. Now I'm going to start with a couple of screenshots. This next bit is all from Real Sport 101, excuse me. Now they've shown us the sort of the menu. This is the solo menu. We've got Grand Prix, Championships, Time Trial and Game Options. Obviously career mode isn't there, but maybe that'll get added alongside on the main screen on the left, and then the Grand Prix and the Championships panel sorts of slots in the middle. So that's sort of the new menu that's coming. It's not too bad, but it could be better, I suppose. But it's actually it's an improvement on what we had. So I'll take that. We've also you can see here that we've got you can view your super license and the stuff like that. So you've got your online presence up on the right hand side, a bit like what you have with FIFA. So yes, that's very interesting that you get to see. Maybe some single player will go into this, although I doubt it. That's more likely going to be your multiplayer super license to try and attract more single player players to multiplayer. Also now we have a screenshot of some of the gameplay. Some of the gameplay you can see there. We've got more. They've changed the sectors, so they've got sector timings to show whether we're green or whatever. So that's something. We've got the official F1 text font, which it's nice to see the official F1 2019 F1 font, excuse me. But to be honest, I was expect when they said we were going to get official F1 graphics, I was thinking more like we were going to have, because they have the halo, and there's also a tweet they did, which I can't actually find on the F1 Twitter account. I've searched for it, but I just couldn't find it. Where they had an overlay, a bit like what the official F1 would do if they were making the game, but they haven't done that. They've stick with it's basically the same HUD as usual, apart from obviously font. We've also got the sector times, which is a nice addition, and the ERS is in a separate bubble. So that's all we can really see. Obviously, I mentioned a little bit about the AI. And obviously you can see that there's a bit of matte going on with everything. So yes, the AI apparently has been quicker, but whether or not they'll still jump out of the way. Hopefully not when you get dive bomb. Now, mentioned a couple of videos ago in this series about the fact that there was going to be the ballast that was getting, sorry, not the ballast, the weight distribution was being removed from the setup, and this is being confirmed by the screenshot on the screen now. You can see there's everything else is still there. It's literally the ballast has gone. So that is an example of the setup. I presume that is most looking like what they've got there on that screen. That is the only change to the setup. They have not done anything else. Now, let's start with handling. The handling model for F1 2019 is very different, though perhaps not for long. There is a massive lack of front downforce compared with between F1 2019 and 2018, which they've tried to solve with the lack of the changes of front wing regulations. But of course, F1 teams have managed to cheat as usual and have managed to got quicker, which Codemasters haven't actually modelled yet. So it's 19 days to go, and they still haven't done that. Now this is when it gets interesting. Codemasters have taken the step to remove the weight distribution part of setups. The effect here is to make traction and car rotation harder to come by. The reason was explained to us by the big Pratt himself, Lee Mather. For the very uncompetitive out there, out there who are racing online, you'd find people would run very unrealistic setups or set it with incredibly difficult to drive other than maybe on a wheel, and it was given unfair advantage in unbalancing things. Well, they're still gonna. I'm sorry, you've yet to find a balance between pad and wheel users, mate. That's the reality of it all. Now, they say that because it's a standard weight distribution, I presume it's going to be set to 6 for everything, and the handling is getting difficult. It's very hard to get through the car through tight sections of track now. The person who went there had tried to get through Mirabeau and Portier at Monaco, and they have lack of front downforce. This smooth braking points compared to F1 2018, even he was using assist again. Well, basically, there's going to be a huge difference between the setups between F1 2018 and F1 2019. So it's going to be important from day one that we fine-tune those setups, which I always start out on day one with my F1 2018, my previous game's setups. I started out F1 last year's game with F1 2017 setups. But basically, Mr. Mather's argument is it will make players work harder to find the perfect setting. There won't be that quick gain and quick exploit. There's more attention to detail reply. Well, what will happen, Mr. Mather? One bloke will be so fast on time trial, everybody else will copy his setup. So yes, there's also a screenshot of the Formula 2 team select menu, which I don't think anybody's seen. The Formula 1 team select menu has been quite roundly on Twitter. It's the same. The Formula 1 one's the same. Is literally the same, but with the F1 teams and cars. So yes, moving on to an interview by Thumb Culture, who interviewed the Pratt himself again, Lee Mather. There was a lot in this interview about multiplayer, but obviously about leagues, especially league racing as well, which is great. I think what the Codemasters have done with the leagues and skewers and votes and stuff, that it should have happened years ago. But there's really just one thing to note, which you've been seeing on the screen for a moment now. Now, I know if I don't ask this question, if you need to remind me, has the RPM glitch been fixed for spectators? Now, I'm not actually familiar with the RPM glitch. I know there's lots of glitches with multiplayer, but interestingly, Mr. Mather replies, which one is the RPM glitch? He gets the torrents of abuse every day on Twitter, and he passes it on to Codemasters. It's like he doesn't want to know there's a glitch with the game. Your game has got the glitches, Mr. Mather. I don't know if that's main news. It's a bit. I'll tell you what it's Mr. Mather's like. He's following the PR style of Williams F1 team. If you follow our review, you know he's been taking the mickey out of Williams for their little PR statements about turning it around positive. And Mr. Mather, I kind of think he's doing the same. They made a huge thing about improving the graphics. That means they probably done jack shit with anything else. We haven't seen much with career mode. I doubt we're going to see much at all in terms of once you get past the two rivals, the driving academies and Formula 2. So basically, at the end of season 1, after that they haven't done anything. Highly likely is bullshit. So yes, that really isn't very promising if they don't know about any of the glitches. The final thing comes actually from Red Bull Racing Esports on Twitter. I haven't seen this in anything on any F1 blog or anything. So this has come from Red Bull themselves. It's the showroom, believe it or not. Now, if we take a look at this photo individually, obviously you've got the car that you're driving right now, which modders are getting extremely happy with. I'm liking this, because when hopefully when modding gets available, we'll be able to show off our cars in the showroom, which will be epic. So the showroom is a great idea. As I said in the previous video, there should also be trophies there. If you haven't seen the previous video, the link to the playlist for the entire game news section. So if you missed a video of this series, there should be a link in the description below. If there isn't, and I've forgotten to put one in, let me know in the comments below and I will put one in. But yes, what you can see in the background potentially goes on about another video I did, part of that series, where potentially Codemasters could have worked on the paddock. Because what's been revealed so far, really, is that 2 years' work? I don't think so. If they've been working on it for, depending on, especially how dire F1 2018 was, I presume interviews was finished early. It was probably, I'm going to guess, and this is guess, interviews were supposed to be released in F1 2019. But they did, because F1 2018 was so dire, and I presume it was working ahead of time. There's something that was brought back from the earlier F1 career modes. I presume they made the decision to try and save F1 2018's reputation and include in F1 2018 rather than F1 2019 for the sales. That is just what I think has happened, because there's obviously we've got loads of paddocks. This looks like it's in some hospitality suite, or maybe even the team base area. Again, one of the videos I did showed a couple of what was supposed to be a leaks, which we haven't heard anything since from Mr. Leaked Anonymous. Whether or not that's just a mock-up or whether it's true or not. But this is a real one. This is the showroom, and it looks quite cool. Hopefully it's not just this one view we get to swing around, but that is all we've seen of the showroom so far. So yes, this is going to be it. Obviously the car models are on stream now. I would like to say this, that I'm changing my career mode. It will obviously be on the road. The road to Renault will be my career mode for F1 2019 when it comes out, and we'll be joining the Renault Academy. If they offer us as a seat at McLaren, we'll take the seat at McLaren. If they don't, we'll take the seat wherever they put us, whether it's Renault or whether it's some other team that McLaren are now the only team that run, and I'm pretty much doubt we'll get a seat elsewhere, although that is our primary goal for that career mode. So yes, just one other note, F1 eMod is coming very soon. I've been editing quite a lot of episodes. I'm onto the last episode now, so I'm going to try and get them all out sometime over the next week, and then I'm also this weekend be recording the final 2 episodes of Final Fantasy, and then I will work on getting all them out, and then we can look at a farewell episode to F1 2018, and that will be it for this game. It's not been the best of games. F1 2017 was certainly a better game, but for me, F1 20, I'm intrigued to see if there's stuff that we haven't seen after because we saw everything for F1 2018. I think that the fact that it's a huge selling point. I think that F1 2019, they've been working on this. I think that they said they've been working on it for 2 years. A lot of work has gone into this. Hopefully, there's rivals, Formula 2, other stuff like that. Which we'll be looking forward to. But I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're looking forward to F1 2019, let me know what you're looking forward to the most. If you think that F1 2019 is going to be a failure, let me know why you think it's going. Let me know how it's going to fail and why. But until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new as well for more episodes. Until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.